Hello and welcome to Exploring Christianity, A Journey of Faith. I'm jokingly calling today's video, Don't Hurry, Be Happy. And in it I want to share the story of why I started a personal quest to avoid hurry. In 2018 I took a 2-month leave of absence from work. I'd let myself get badly burned out and I realized that I was not going to be able to get over it without first taking a break and building my reserves back up, and second learning to do some things differently. I realized that all was not well with my soul, and I took this time to try to recover from the soul fatigue that was taking the joy out of my life. During this time, I came across the wonderful book, Soul Keeping, Caring for the Most Important Part of You by John Ortberg, who is one of my favorite authors. In the book, John is speaking with one of his spiritual mentors, Dallas Willard. Dallas tells him, "Hurry is the great enemy of spiritual life in our day. You must ruthlessly eliminate hurry from your life." I thought a lot about hurry during my leave and the difference between hurry and busy. Borrowing from John Ortberg, being busy is a condition of the body that occurs when we have many things to do and is inevitable in today's world. Being hurried is a condition of the soul. While I was on leave, I got a lot done, but since I didn't have deadlines, I let things happen at the pace they required. I was more in the moment and less focused on what I needed to do next or what I had to get done by the end of the day. Being more in the moment let me be more wholehearted about what I was doing. I enjoyed it more while I was doing it, and even sometimes paused to appreciate what I'd accomplished before starting on the next thing. I felt much more peaceful than I had in a very long time. Then it was time to go back to work. I found that I really dreaded the idea of picking back up the crazed pace that was required to do my job. Always trying to do a dozen things at once, never having time to take a break or eat lunch that wasn't at my desk, and frequently canceling my evening plans as my days got longer and longer, ending the week with hundreds of unread emails that I would catch up on over the weekend, falling further and further behind. When I first came back, I shared with my manager that I'd started doing volunteer work, teaching GED math at the local literacy council 2 nights a week, and that doing this was very fulfilling for me. She responded worriedly that she hoped it would be possible for me to continue now that I was back at work. I think my response even surprised me when I said that I sure hoped it would be because I'd hate to have to look for a different job. That started me questioning, did things really have to be the way they were before, or was there another way? I decided to change some things and see what the impact was. Unless I was scheduled into meetings that I truly could not have shifted to another time, I started taking a break for lunch. Unless there was a critical deadline the next day, I stopped work after 10 hours during the week. I didn't work during the weekend. If there was something that wasn't finished at the end of the day or the week, I stopped anyway and finished it the next workday. As dramatic as these things were for me, these actually weren't the biggest changes. The biggest changes was how I felt about my work. My first inclination when I decided to work fewer hours was that I just needed to work twice as fast. But then I realized doing that would be just as exhausting as the long hours. I remembered how it felt to work on things during my leave, when I would work hard at something but without the voice I was used to in the back of my head shrieking, "Faster, faster, faster, more, more, more." I decided to hold that feeling in my heart and work that way. I still work hard, I still work steadily throughout my workday, but I do it calmly and peacefully, at least most of the time. If I won't be able to finish something before I have to start the next thing, I put it aside to return to later, but without the feeling of panic. If I realize something isn't clear in my mind, I stop and simply think about it for a while instead of trying to think it through while I'm working on it. I take the time to ask someone about their weekend, their vacation, or their kids before I jump into the information that I need. I try to stop multiple times a day to pray for a minute or two. I ask God to help me with my next task, or I thank God for God's help on my last task. I hope to learn that I could still do a decent job at work even though I was getting less done. I hoped that maybe I was the one who was expecting so much from me and that my boss and my peers would still be okay when I was doing less. But I was wrong. Because as far as I can tell, I'm not getting less done. Somehow staying calm and in the moment while I work is more productive than pushing myself the way I used to. Sure, in the short term, I can get more accomplished by working as fast as I possibly can, but I can't sustain it. Eventually, I get tired and slow down, or I get mentally beat and my work quality goes down so that I need to do more revisions later. At first, I thought the difference between being busy and being hurried had to do with how quickly you were doing things, but I've realized with practice that this is not what Dallas meant. I can do things quickly, but feel peaceful doing so. Or I can do things at a more leisurely pace, but feel frantic doing so. While I can't yet always sustain it, after all, I have a lot of years habit built up living the hurried life, I'm much happier when I stay busy without being hurried. I look forward to hearing from you. Are you busy or hurried? What differences, if any, do you find between them?